Thank you. Francine, thank you so much. And distinguished delegates, on behalf of the UK government and the International Energy Agency, I want to welcome you all to this historic setting of Lancaster House and to London for this first global summit on the future of energy security. As Francine has said, there are numerous countries represented here, almost 60 countries represented here today, and I want to thank each and every one of you who have made the trip here. We truly appreciate your presence, and we really look forward to the discussions over the coming 2 days. We also have leaders from more than 50 global businesses with us, and I want to thank all of you for everything you do to help create energy security for our countries and our world. And we also have NGOs and civil society groups from around the world who are here with us, who play an important role in ensuring accountability of governments. I also want to pay a specific thank you to the official partners of the summit, Iberdrola, Scottish Power, National Grid, SSE and Urenco. And if I may, I want to also thank the teams at the International Energy Agency and across the UK government who have worked incredibly hard to pull this event together. It is some feat of organisation. And I want, if I may, also to pay a particular tribute to Fatih Birol. Fatih, your leadership of the IEA for more than a decade now has been marked by your commitment to rigour, to values and to multilateral cooperation. And that is why the IEA is so central to the global discussion on energy. And I want to thank you. And perhaps the audience could show our appreciation for Fatih and the work he does. So you've got much more interesting people than me to hear from in these coming sessions. But let me make a few remarks to frame our discussions over the next 2 days. First, our starting point for this summit is that in an unstable and uncertain world, there can be no national or international security without energy security. And indeed, it is now more than 50 years since the IEA was founded in response to the oil crisis of 1973. Over that time, the challenges we face have changed, but I think the principle underpinning the IEA's work, that countries need to collaborate to secure the uninterrupted supply of energy at an affordable price, remain the same. And in the years since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we've been reminded in the UK and indeed across Europe and the world of a simple truth, that as long as energy can be weaponized against us, our countries and our citizens are vulnerable and exposed. It's for this reason that energy security is also at the heart of economic security, because it is central to living standards, job creation and economic growth. And we hope this summit marks an important moment for countries to come together and discuss what the shifting global landscape means for how we deliver energy security in this era. Second, the act of bringing together, which is an initiative that I've taken alongside Fatih and the IEA, I think stems from an underlying belief that can unite us all, which is there is huge benefit for us from cooperating on the basis of our shared interests. I think it's really important to say every country faces its own energy security challenges and its own constraints. And each country will pursue its own pathway, following its national interest in securing its energy supplies. Different pathways, and I think this is a really important point for this conference, different pathways for different nations should be respected. And we will all get a chance to reflect on our different national circumstances in our discussions over the coming days. But here is the key thing. Whatever our national pathways, I do believe that we share a fundamental belief that shared challenges invite shared solutions. Multilateral cooperation can make us stronger, not weaker, in our own individual national interest. Third point. Hopefully this is also a uniting idea. I believe that we gathered here are the optimists about what we can achieve for our society. Business, government, civil society. I believe we are in this energy sector, the optimists. Abundant energy can raise living standards, economic growth, and deliver for today's and future generations of citizens. For the UK, just to talk about us for a moment, there is an exciting vision of energy security and abundance from cheap, homegrown, low-carbon power. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we saw family finances, business finances, and public finances wrecked as fossil fuel prices rocketed on the global markets and therefore here in Britain. Now, oil and gas, including from our North Sea, will continue to play an important role in our energy system, and we really value our industry and the jobs it supports. But as with many other countries, we're a price taker, not a price maker in international fossil fuel markets. So our vision of low-carbon power goes well beyond the climate imperative, important as that is. Homegrown low-carbon power is our nationally chosen route to energy security. Solar power, wind power, tidal, geothermal, nuclear power, also an essential part of the low-carbon opportunity. These are often unlimited, low-cost power supplies which we can exploit for the benefit of our citizens. So, to be clear about this, ours is a hard-headed approach to the role of low-carbon power as a route to energy security. And I believe this isn't just true for the UK. Alongside a continuing and important role for oil and gas, low-carbon energy can play a critical role in delivering energy security for many countries around the world. And it presents a solution to the issue of energy security that simply wasn't true in the same way as a decade and a half ago. And this, again, is important. And that's because of what many countries in this room, working with business, public and private sector together, have achieved. The cost of solar globally has fallen by 90% since 2010. Offshore wind by more than 60%. That's in part why last year $2 trillion was invested in clean energy, with 80% of new electricity generation met by renewables and nuclear. Indeed, according to BNEF, for more than 2/3 of the world's population, new renewables are the cheapest source of bulk power generation. In this spirit of multilateralism, the UK is determined to work with others to accelerate this transition, including through our global Clean Power Alliance, which the Prime Minister launched at the G20 last year. Final point. Let me finish by saying that at a time when so much of what is happening in the world looks so intractable, I hope we can carry this spirit of optimism into our deliberations. And I hope genuinely that everyone here enjoys this event and your time in London. I want to end with the following message from His Majesty the King that he has asked me to read out to you all, because this summit is something that he was very much personally interested in. And this is the message from King Charles. As we all navigate the transition to cleaner energy for our planet and energy security for our citizens, summits such as these are of vital importance in facilitating shared learning between nations, particularly those in the global south and across the Commonwealth. Events over recent years have shown that when well managed, the transition to more sustainable energy sources can itself lead to more resilient and secure energy systems. While each country will follow its individual path, there are many shared challenges and opportunities on which we can work together as partners. And he ends by saying, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for participating in this summit on the future of energy security, and to send my warmest, best wishes for productive discussions over the coming days. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attendance, and now it's my huge privilege to introduce the Executive Director of the IEA, Dr. Fatih Birol.
Thank you very much. It is really a pleasure. Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure and honor for me to welcome you to the International Summit of the Future of Energy Security in London today. Very many thanks to the Prime Minister Starmer and Minister Miliband for hosting us here. Thank you very much for agreeing to co-host this very important event. Dear colleagues, recent years have shown us that the energy security shouldn't be taken for granted. Many events. Remember the times of COVID, Russia's invasion of Ukraine and resulting issues, energy security issues, the developments in Middle East, extreme weather events, cyber attacks on energy infrastructure around the world. They do remind us regularly that energy security is and looks like will be a crucial issue in the global agenda. While we acknowledge energy security from these angles to be crucial, there is one issue that I wanted to share with you, a bit forgotten from time to time, namely energy security of the people who have no access to energy today. IEA has been pioneering the very fact that today 750 million people around the world have no access to electricity. More than 2 billion people have no access to clean cooking and using wood, animal waste, agricultural waste for cooking, with huge implications. These are critical issues for the global energy security if you look at it. And of course, in many countries, including in some advanced countries, affordability of energy also appears to be a very important topic. In this context, we thought it is important to bring governments around the world together to discuss on these topics. And last August 2024, we have officially announced that we are organizing such a summit here in London with the great courtesy of the UK government, especially with my colleague, with my friend at Miliband. Dear colleagues, we have, as Mr. Miliband mentioned, we have some 60 governments from all continents. I think this itself is an important statement of how crucial energy security is, especially if you consider that the times we are in are the times of geopolitical fragmentation, rather than countries are working so closer together, if we have to be frank to ourselves. In this geopolitical context, bringing 60 governments together, as well as 50 business leaders all around the world, is something noteworthy in my view. Dear colleagues, energy security, for us, for the IEA, we have two broad group of energy security risks we see. One, traditional energy security risks. We all know, we have experienced since decades several oil and gas supply disruptions around the world. Oil and gas are key parts of our energy mix, and they will remain as part of the energy mix years to come. Recent events show us once again how important the oil and gas supply security is. I'll give you two examples. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, oil markets went through very difficult times. And in order to avoid a major supply disruption, International Energy Agency released oil stocks from its reserves to comfort the markets for the benefit of all. The same applies to natural gas, especially with the European countries. I am sure the Commissioner, Dan Jorgensen, here with us in the afternoon. We will have President von der Leyen. They will mention IEA and European countries work together to avoid a major energy crisis in Europe, especially the lack of availability of gas as the Russian gas was cut. So this is one part of the energy security risk we see. It is with us, it will be with us. But, dear colleagues, there is another emerging energy security risk, which is coming from the different angle. A remarkable story in the last few years is the very strong expansion of clean, advanced energy technologies. If you look at the numbers, what we do IEA all the time, and I tell my colleagues, data always wins. Sometimes it takes some time, but at the end, it always wins. So when we look at the data, last year, of all power plants installed in the world, about 85% were renewables. Solar, wind, hydropower, 5% nuclear power. Look at the other angle, transportation sector. We are seeing the big increase of electric cars globally. It changes from one country to another, but there is a strong increase, and according to our data, again, today, 1 out of 4 cars sold in the world is an electric car. It's a big change compared to several years ago, and it will go in this direction very strongly. So what is the problem? The problem is the following, the energy security challenge, because they do themselves help to address the energy security. As Mr. Secretary of State mentioned, homegrown energy is the best friend of energy security. But to produce, to manufacture this new clean energy technologies, we need critical minerals. Mining, production of critical minerals, and manufacturing these clean energy technologies, when we look at this, where the critical minerals are produced, where they are refined, and where they are manufacturing, there is a huge concentration. And this is something that we think is risky. Wherever the concentration is, it is a risky business. There can be some event in terms of the geopolitical event. There can be an earthquake, there can be a technical failure. This is always risky, this concentration. And this is something that the IEA considers a new emerging energy security challenge in addition to the traditional one. So it is the reason we have built a critical minerals program, and we are, as our gas market report, oil market report, we are regularly informing the world what is happening in different critical minerals. Their demand, their supply, mining, investment prices to bring transparency to the world. But this is another challenge that we wanted to underline, and it makes us, this concentration, vulnerable our energy security system. So these are the two challenges I think we will look today and tomorrow. The challenge of the established traditional energy security, oil and gas, and the second, the challenge emerging from the critical minerals and the supply chains. Now, against that, and I want to finish with this, I have 3 golden rules to address energy security. There are many of them, but 3 of them I wanted to share with you. Number 1, golden rule is diversification. Diversification of the energy sources, diversification of the countries you import energy, diversification of the trade routes or supply chains. Not to put all the eggs in one basket. Because the geopolitical situation can change, technical failures can create problems. I would say this is the first golden rule for me, diversification. The second one is predictability. Dear colleagues, energy sector is a bit different than the other sectors of the economy. It requires huge investments with the project's long lead times. And if the policies are not predictable, they change from one day to another, it creates uncertainty, and as such, it increases the cost of capital. And this is a major problem. And it is a major problem for investors, and the unpredictable economies lead the investors fly away. So this is the second golden rule for me after the diversification, predictability. Third and the last is the cooperation. Mr. Miliband mentioned perfectly, and I completely agree. Every country has its own pathway for energy, based on their economies, natural resources, political context, and others. We should understand and respect it. However, dear colleagues, no country, small or big, is an energy island. We are interconnected, interdependent through many ways. Through energy prices, they are international. Through emissions, they are global. Through technological innovation, they are global. We are interconnected. So lasting solutions to energy security, in my view, goes through cooperation. And saying cooperation, it is in fact the very reason we host this meeting today. We have many oil exporters, huge oil exporters, gas exporters. We have several renewable companies from businesses and countries. We have several countries with huge critical mineral resources, lithium, nickel, copper. We bring everybody together, hope to have a common understanding about our energy challenges, and that we all understand the need to cooperate, which is good for all of us. As such, I want to thank once again the government of United Kingdom, and we were honored with agreeing the co-host with the IEA, Mrs. Secretary of State, and we were also honored with the letter of the King Charles. Thank you very much for that, and I wish all of us a very good conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Birol. I'd love now to actually So, dear ministers and distinguished guests, we move to the first order of the day. We both have a fast-moving energy sector and a fast-moving world around it. And how do we shape an approach